My name is Dustin Dailey. I work at Wake Forest University. I first got into coaching when I was 18 years old. I did not know I wanted to be a strength and conditioning professional until I was 22. I am 32 now, so we can say I've been coaching for over a decade. And I primarily work with women's basketball players at Wake Forest as the director of women's basketball sport performance. But I also do coach Olympic weightlifting athletes remotely on the side. My primary periodization model is going to be the Emphasis Periodization model. So I use this method, especially in basketball, because it allows me to still train all of our qualities throughout the entirety of the year, but I can emphasize certain training qualities, whether it be strength, power, hypertrophy, etc., throughout the end season in different weeks and phases based on high demand and low demand players, and then different phases of the year. So in our off season, we can emphasize strength a little bit more, or we can emphasize power development a little bit more in your traditional cycles or phases as opposed to week or day to day. Because we are still training all of our qualities throughout the entirety of the year, we don't really see a dramatic drop off in performance in any of these qualities because we're touching these things throughout the entirety of the year. Obviously, the one that we emphasize, one of the things I find very beneficial, kind of like peaking and tapering, we can use that emphasis method and emphasize the one quality we're trying to get to see if we can peak that and try and push it a little bit further. An ideal example for myself in terms of progress is the last 2 years we have jumped the highest we have jumped on team average and in terms of peak jump height the week of or the week before the ACC tournament. So you can use this method, train all of these things, don't see a lot of drop off, and can still manipulate variables in order to peak and taper. So you get a lot of freedom with these with this periodization method, and it allows you to have a little bit of fun. I will add a little bonus thing for myself is I can change this from player to player, which I think is one of the biggest benefits of this is high demand players might not need a lot of power development in this specific week or day. Meanwhile, low demand players might need a little bit more power or a little bit more strength work. So you can cater and form that program using the emphasis model for each individual player without pulling away from that team component.